Raquel Pennington taking on Marion Reneau. Here we go. Here we go. So Raquel Pennington is a fighter who I've bought in on a couple of times, and recently she's been letting me down. I thought she was going to bounce back strong after her loss to Germaine Durandamy. She got that split over Irene Aldana, but I saw everything that I wanted to see, and I bet on her against Holly Holm. I thought that her grappling style was going to be perfect for basically keeping Holly Holm pinned up against the fence and stifling her striking attack. However, I didn't account for how physically strong Holly Holm is, and that game plan worked in reverse. So I paid on that one, and I'm starting to feel like Raquel Pennington is fading a little bit. She has a good inside leg kick that she used, and she likes to wade forward. She's another forward pressure style fighter. She is decently solid defensively. She's got decent power for the weight class, but not great. When she clinches up against people, that's really when she kind of shines, unless, of course, like with Holly Holm, she is out strength, and she is strong in top position. She scores well with ground and pound. If she's on top of you on the mat, it's perfect because she will be working. She'll constantly be tagging you with punches, ground and pound that'll score well on the judges' cards. But she seems to accept the cage position. These days, she's getting pushed up against the fence a lot, and she's just kind of being okay with it, and that's not something that I like to see. I really feel like she is fading, and I don't think she's been the same fighter since she lost and took that beating to Amanda Nunes. She's 8-10, even though she's fighting the who's who, the top tier of the division. She's still just almost a 500 fighter at this point. Now she's taking on Marion Reneau. Reneau is 9-5, which is also not that impressive, and she's 42. Remember, we talked about that rule I've got about 40-year-olds. Reneau is very, very proud of her Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills. She is a world champion at the purple belt level, and she is willing to accept bottom position because of that. She actually is willing to jump guard on her opponents, going for chokes and forcing the fight to the mat that way. On the feet, she blitzes in with these wild combos. She actually has some heavy hands. In her previous fight with Yana Kunitskaya, she actually busted her nose in that fight, and that was a very close back and forth fight, and Yana's a girl that people are high on. She has heavy ground and pound. Now, I talked about Pennington having decent ground and pound. Marion Reneau's got some ground and pound. When she gets on top of you, she's dealing damage. She's not scoring. She's hurting people. Very, very dangerous off of her back with submissions, and it seems like she finishes or she loses by decision. However, this fight, she's been training with Aspen Ladd, who is a very exciting prospect in this division, and I think that is a perfect training partner for her to get ready for someone like Raquel Pennington, someone who's probably even bigger and stronger than Raquel Pennington, for her to kind of size herself up against. Am I crazy for wanting to bet Marion Reneau here? Now, I know I told everybody that you've got to have a damn good reason to bet anybody over 40, but I feel like even though she's the older fighter and should be closer to retirement, she's the one who's got the upside. She's the one who is streaking. I mean, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. She kind of shined in her last couple of fights, even losing. So she fought Kat Zingano. Kat Zingano is a hard-nosed grappler, really heavy top game, good submission defense, and she basically laid on top of Marion Reneau for a full 15 minutes, and Reneau couldn't get the submission game going. Yana Kunitskaya, young prospect, people are excited about this girl, and Marion took the fight to her. At the end of that fight, if you judged a fight based on faces, Reneau won that one. Yana was the one busted up and bleeding with a broken nose. She subbed Sarah McMahon, which, let me repeat that, she submitted Sarah McMahon. Not many people can do that. McMahon's a high-level grappler, and she choked her out with a triangle. She TKO'd Talita Bernardo. I mean, this chick's a badass 40-year-old woman. Yikes. So looking at the line, I mean, plus 125 coming back on Marion, minus 145 on Pennington. I cannot lay chalk on Pennington at this point. That's basically my take on this fight. Pennington is over the hill and kind of drifting away, and I don't see that fire in her anymore. I really feel like she's kind of ready to go out to pasture. I think she's fully aware that she's going to be nowhere near the title again anytime soon. And I think Marion, on the other hand, is fighting for fun. I think Marion enjoys her day job. I think Marion likes to bring the fight, and I think she likes to hurt people. And when you've got a fighter who's kind of checked out and wants to push her opponent up against the cage and doesn't really go for the kill, and then you've got a killer who's coming in to let loose and have a good time, I kind of got to side with the one who's got the emotional push there. So I'm not going to bet it yet. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see how much wider this line gets and kind of feel the room a little bit moving forward. But I'm very tempted to bet on Marion Reneau here at dog odds. I think this is a wild fight. And I think the teacher is going to get it done. How's everybody feeling about my hot takes on this one? Yeah, Jay, Marion's going to be 43 by fight day. That's wild. Absolutely wild. Have to keep track of Rocky's record with and without Tisha. She's been working on her cardio in the bedroom with Tisha Torres or not. Yeah, Colby Covington style, bedroom cardio, baby. I have seen them on IG, and that's kind of the thing is that Tisha Torres has been posting a lot of training videos. She's been posting a lot of workout stuff, whereas all I'm seeing from Rocky is the brunches out in the woods, the hikes, the nature. She doesn't really seem dialed into me. Tisha Torres, on the other hand, seems to be posting a lot of gym stuff. And if we're just talking about Instagram capping, Tisha seems to be the one that's a little bit more excited about the fight to me in this case. Boston Nick saying, don't do it, that Rocky will outstrike her and win a decision. Man, I don't know. Rocky doesn't outstrike much of anybody, though. We'll see. Craig against me here. Don't do it. Yep. Nobody's liking my pick here. Mo Scream, what's up, buddy? Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hey, Gabe, love seeing that back up there. Dog or pass, love it. That's kind of what I'm feeling. If you're going to make a bet on this one, you got to take the dog. I don't know how you're going to lay that kind of wood. Chris, I like Reneau. Okay, it's starting to swing. At first, I was getting beat up by the chat. Now I'm getting a little bit of support here. I like it here. Zero, what's up, buddy? Thank you very much for tuning into the show. I appreciate you, my friend. Rocky just going through the motions. Exactly. And when you're getting in a cage, you're locking the door and only one person gets to walk out. You can't be going through the motions. Can't be doing it. You got to have that fire. And if I don't see that fire, I might end up throwing a little something on Reneau. This is another one of those cards. If I felt like losing my mind again, I could bet every single fight. I'd probably end up losing my ass again, but I could bet every single fight if I wanted to. Not going to. Stop it.